Silly. I didn't know it said it was supposed to be on it tomorrow. No. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I thought that I had it set for today at 9:30. Apparently it was scheduled for tomorrow. And hopefully the sound is okay. I am actually not at my desk right now. I am laying on my couch. So this is a little bit of a different setup. So if I sound different, it's because I'm like laying down and I'm trying to relax. But yes, today is what, Friday? It was a beautiful day here today. It was like gorgeous. It was like 70 some degrees and it was nice. It was like the first taste of spring. And I'm hoping that the weather kind of stays in that direction. And I know I'm going to be talking to myself for quite some time because my stupid StreamYard was scheduled for tomorrow instead of today. So there's going to be some confusion. Yeah. Oh, yes. Hello, Wordy Gal. I'm not talking to myself. Yay. Yeah, it was 73. I definitely was sweating. I was like, I was out on my walk and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I didn't, I wore short sleeves actually. So I don't know. It was pretty hot, which is fine. Which is fine. The only negative side is that like everybody and their mother and their mother's mother and their mother's dog and their mother's like they are all out and about because everybody comes out of hibernation here around this time, and that's when my neighbors start getting really loud. And yeah, we're gonna have to maneuver around that this summer when I'm live because you guys, I swear to you, you're gonna have to experience the pain that I go through every summer living in the city surrounded by people who are having get-togethers in their driveways 24/7 with very very loud music, like with their cars open with like the subwoofer going. It's hell. It's bad. Hey, Allison. Or oh my god, I can't even sit up. I'm in pain today, guys. I'm not having a very good day. My back is pretty bad today. So I am laying down. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm hoping. Because if not, I'm gonna have to go sit at my desk, and I don't want to sit at my desk. So, but yeah, I hope everybody had a great day today. I hope everybody is gearing up for the weekend. I know that I have personally never worked a job where the weekend was actually the weekend. I never had like a Actually, that's a lie. I just lied to you guys. That's a lie. I did. When I was a manager, I had weekends off. I had to work one Saturday a month. So, okay, there was that. So, but for everything else that I've done, just because it was Saturday for somebody else was not Saturday for me. So, yes. So I hope everybody has some stuff planned or whatever. And I'm just coming on to hang out for a little bit. I don't even know how long I'm going to be on here for. I almost was like I don't want to, but yesterday, really, yeah. Um what, you make it yourself? That's interesting. What's in it? I've always been like I'm not a do it yourself kind of person. I should be. I should be. I should learn to do more things like that. I'm not lazy. I don't know. I don't know like I'm not good at step by step things, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes if like, in one of my classes the professor has too many steps in an assignment, I just like shut down. My brain can't handle it. Hey, Heather. And yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. But I did. I wanted to stop by and say hello just because I've been silently. Oh, the order. Okay. I have an email somewhere. If you want to email it to me, let me put the banner with my email. There we go. It's my name at Gmail. Oh, except there's a 44 because originally it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like lidocaine, and I think I've heard of that. I've definitely heard of all of that together in a thing. I didn't know you could make it though. That's neat. Um, yeah, I've been kind of silently observing stuff going on in the community. Because like I said in my declaration yesterday, I no longer wish to be on any side of anything. This is not what I want to do with my channel. I was thinking to myself, I was like, hey, Crystal, good to see you. I was like, if people ask me in my real life, they're like, why are people, what is going on? Oh, sorry. If people ask me, they're like, what's your YouTube channel? I'm almost embarrassed to tell people what my YouTube channel is because if they come on here, they're gonna see the stuff that's been going, and I don't want that. associated with my name. So that's kind of the thing I've been trying to go with. So I don't know how many people got to watch um my actual true crime one that I did. But with my dad, I had him up and he was talking about his experience on the parole board. But that's the kind of stuff that I want to bring to the community. So he's going to be coming on again, actually. He'll be coming on again this coming Wednesday, also at 7 p.m. Except I'm going to be doing an open panel for you guys because there was a lot of questions. Like we were having a really great conversation in the chat. I was really impressed. He was really impressed. I didn't realize he could see the chat, so I was trying to relay it to him. But apparently he was looking at it for some of it, and he said that he was impressed with our community, that we had some really good questions, really good insight on things. So I want people to be able, like, if they're comfortable, if they want to come up and ask him their questions themselves. I mean, it could be anything like criminal justice related. I don't, he sees criminal justice more from like a psychological lens, and through that standpoint. So, I mean, yeah, he's like a well of like a lot of information about that kind of stuff, which is awesome. So he'll be coming on this Wednesday at yes, 7. And oh my god, my cat is throwing himself at the door. Did I lock him in a room by accident? I might have. Oh no. This is why I need to sit at my desk. This is not going to work for me. I might have to bring you guys to my desk. Hi, Brittany. Good to see you. I might have to bring myself to my desk. I might have to do that. So you guys are going to come with me. I'm going to have to get up off the couch. It's not going to work like this. You like that panel? I'm glad. Sorry, guys. We're traveling. We're going on a field trip. We're going on a field trip across my house. I should let. I accidentally locked my cat in a room. Come on. Go. Hi, Chicky. Good kitty. All right. Sorry, guys. And now we're going to go to my desk because I can't do this on my couch. Don't you dare, Chicory. Don't make me hiss at you. No. No. You're not allowed in here. Sorry, guys. Okay. I am back. I never left. I've been like carrying my laptop like it's like. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm here. I have to sit up and actually be productive here. I'm glad that you liked my dad's panel. I had a really good time with that. Hey, Amber, good to see you. Oh, hold on. That is Amber, right? Okay, yes, Amber. All right. I was like, my screen is still like, I'm a mess right now, guys. I'm like, I am so tired. I did not sleep last night almost at all. So that was rough. So I ended up falling asleep maybe around like 6 a.m. And I woke up a couple hours later. So I'm like exhausted. And I was like, am I even going to come on here or not? And then I noticed that I had scheduled this for tomorrow night when I meant to do it today. So I don't really know what I'm doing today. Hold on. Wait. Oh, I'm cool with everybody. I am so easygoing, guys. Like it takes a lot to upset me. And I appreciate each and every one of you because I know that's what I mean though. And Crystal, I appreciate that because honestly, like that's what bothered me the most about that situation. It wasn't that those things were said about me, because I get over things. I get over things very, very probably more quickly than I should. It's a problem. Just because I'm so easygoing, I can't help it. But it was more so that I was seeing people who I care about their opinion of me. I don't care about how do I put this without sounding rude? I don't mean to put it. I care about my subscribers. I care about the people that support me, and I care about what they think about me. That I care about. I do not care about what some other creator who, doesn't like me for this, that, or the other reason. That their opinion does not matter to me because I have not done anything to anybody to warrant anything like that. But, when I see people who, I know support me and they're being told these things, and some people, it's upsetting because it's like, what's the point, guys? What is the point? Oh, Amber, that's awesome. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. That's always exciting. I try. I don't know why. I'm trying to convince myself as to why I'm on here tonight because I'm like, I had a bunch to say, but I've just been like, I'm dealing with some personal things right now, guys. So like, I haven't. I've told a few people. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant to YouTube. It's not relevant to me. It's just something But it's all good. It's all good. I'm here. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to hang out with you guys tonight. So I'm going to be here. And I don't really know if I have anything exciting. Thank you, Crystal. Yeah. I try to be a leader. I don't want to be a follower. That's the other thing. Like, I've always done my own thing. Like, ever since I was a kid, like, I've never been the type that just does something because everyone else is doing it. I've always like had my own path, and not in the way that you like people usually associate it with. Like, I'm not like, really blatantly and outwardly, um, like, I'm gonna do things because I do it better. I just did my own thing. Like, I never did. I just kind of was in my own head all the time, and that's kind of how I am. Yeah, a lot of people. You're right, Amber. A lot of people are taking some time away from YouTube, and that's really like the as much as I don't. I'm not going to be doing drama. Like, I'm terrible at it. I don't want to do drama. I don't want any of that because yeah, sure. Yeah, if she sends me the recipe, I'd be more than happy to post it. Sure. For sure. But in this I am part of this community. So that's what makes it even harder cuz like I don't want to talk about this crap over and over again, but it's true. It's true. And then I heard somebody say they're like, "Well, this isn't a true crime community," or like, "This is a drama community. So that's what we do here. We do drama." Well, this wasn't always like that. This wasn't always a drama community. A lot of us, if not most of us, have been here for quite some time. And last time I checked, this was a true crime with, a little hint of drama, not even a year ago. And to say that this community has always been drama, that's just not true. So it's really discrediting to hear somebody discredit subscribers who are upset because the content that they enjoyed no longer happens here. And I saw that happen. I saw, a subscriber said that, and somebody got very bent out of shape about it. And I was like, well, that subscriber happens to have been in this community for as long as I've been here. And, like, that's what I'm saying, Brittany. It was a true crime community, not even that long ago. So I don't understand these people coming in and saying that this is a drama community. If you don't like drama, then get out. Like, what? Like, no. I'm standing my ground here. I'm not going anywhere. I belong here. Do you? Like, that's what I want to say to some of these people. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even know who half these people are, but like, people here want, yeah, it is. It doesn't fit into one genre. That's true. And that's what I like about it though, is that, there is a wide variety of stuff. There is like a bunch of different, there's a neat, like, drama's fine. I've never had a problem with drama. It's just, when you're trying to say that this is how this is normal, that if you're trying to normalize this, then there's something wrong with you, because this is not normal. And nobody should be. It's gone way too far. And that's what I'm saying. Like, going forward, as I've said not a billion times, but I stand firmly by it, because here I am. I brought some actual content to the community the other day, which people really enjoyed, and it showed me. I saw it for myself. I had told my dad, I had warned him about stuff that goes on here, because I was afraid. I was afraid that, like, something would happen and he would be like, "Why are you involved in this?" And, all of that. And you know what? He was like, "I don't know what you're talking about," because everybody was respectful in the chat. Everybody was having like a really great conversation, and it was names from all over. There were names that I've seen in Natasha's chat. There's names that I've seen in Dorothy's chat. There's names that I've seen in Granny's, like, all over. And they were getting along in my chat, and it like brought tears to my eyes. I kid you not. It was wonderful. So that is what, yeah. Focus on true crime, not committing. I agree 100%. I do. And that's the thing. Like, I like the people here. I know that there are good people here. I know this. I'm from this community, and that really solidified in my mind how I want to go forward with my channel, because it just showed me that it's possible. Like, I was like, I've been debating, like, just giving up entirely a couple times, because because people are cruel, and they don't, but that's not in my nature. It's not my nature to give up. It's not my nature. Hey, SA, good to see you. It's not my nature to go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, because that's what they want. And I don't want to be a part of that. I'm not like saying that I want to like sing Kumbaya with everybody. I'm not saying that, my opinions, I still dislike people. There are people on this platform I don't care for. There are people that I don't agree with how they do things. Of course there are, but I'm not going to bring it on here because that's not the environment that I want for my subscribers and myself. So it got to a point where, whoever you're aligning with, the subs from the other side weren't comfortable coming to my channel. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. I want everybody to feel welcome. Hey, why can't I need glasses, guys. I've been saying this forever. I just need to make that appointment. I need to do it and get over it. Hi, Lilith. I like your entire, like the L's and the I's look the same there, Lilith. So in my eyes, it's like this, I can't even, like, I need glasses so bad. But yeah, so that's my whole mantra at this point. I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't. And I know that there are people that get mad about that. I know there are people that get upset and they're like, you've lost your cause or whatever. Well, I was never on here, that's not what I ever wanted. I came on here like with things that I wanted to say, and I said the things that I need to say. I have nothing left to say on that matter. And and I'm sorry if that upsets some people. I'm sorry. But here's the deal, guys. There are a billion other channels that talk about all of those things that people want me to talk about. And they do it better than I do. And they're clearly comfortable doing it. So, there's that. I want to offer something different. And I have some things. I have a lot to offer. And if people just, give me the chance to do that. And I am committed. I am committed 100%. And that's what Brittany, that's really what I want. I want everybody to just be able to hang out. Because when did we become such like fierce enemies? It's like, I don't recall it ever being that bad. I don't recall it ever being a place where like there would be drama between two creators. But, I as a sub never felt uncomfortable going anywhere that I wanted. At this point in time, even I, especially now, I as a creator, I don't feel like I can go anywhere without, repercussions. And at this point, I just don't care. I'm going to go where I want to go. If you guys have an issue with a chat that I want to go into, then, I'm sorry to hear that, but like this is my social time too. And yeah, that's just what I stand for. That's what I stand for. I stand for people doing whatever they want. And, to make it very clear that there is a place in this community for people who don't want to be a part of this at all. I am not supporting anybody. I am my own channel. I stand on my own 2 feet. I do my own content. I do not want to be a place, a little satellite channel of anybody's. That's not how I want to function. I want to be friendly with everybody. That's all. That's all. And people, Allison, that's really true. People really do get, and you can tell that there are some people that get pleasure from it. You absolutely can. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Like, I don't get off on hurting other people. I don't. And I'm bad at it. It's not in my nature. I can't pretend to be mean and cruel. And I'm just not okay with it. It's, and you know what? And for the longest time, I was like, well, in order to be part of this community, I have to be. But then that's that's the lie. That's what the lie is that. And I don't have to do things that way. I'm just so sick of a lot of the stuff that goes on. And I'm moving on. I'm moving on. And I hope to see more people doing it because, honest to God, I mean, there are people here that want that true crime. And I think there are people here that can do true crime. I just, it's every time I see a headline, right? So somebody titles their live and it says it's true crime. So I get all excited and I'll be like, all right, so, okay, I'm going to set my time up. I'm going to do that. So I click on it and I don't even like, I'm always late for everything. So of course, maybe they started it out as true crime, but by the time I click on it, they're not talking about true crime anymore. It's about the drama, the same crap that is on every other channel. Yeah, that's right, Crystal. I don't have room in my life for that either. That's right. I just don't. I just don't have the time or the energy. And I just like to, I try to stay positive. I've had people that are like, you're so upbeat and you have a lot of energy. And I'm like, I do have a lot of energy and I have a lot to offer. And I'm working hard on it. So, that's what I said. I am working on a true crime deep dive. In fact, I just submitted a Freedom of Information Act request for the case that I'm doing, which I don't expect to get anything, guys, that isn't already available. I know I won't. I mean, it's just, I saw someone on Reddit do it. So I was like, I might as well. Why not me? You only live once. So, hi, Earthbound Spirit. So yeah, and Heather, that is what I want because that is how it should be. And if I can do anything else on YouTube, It is that. And I'm not saying that because I am a holier than thou or sitting on a high horse or trying to be neutral. I am not doing any of those things. I just don't want to be a part of it. Period. End of story. End of story. And it makes it complicated when, I am part of this community, because there are creators in this community that I have supported for about a year now. And lately they've been doing some stuff that isn't something that I really agree with very much. But at the same time, like, there's still a creator that I enjoy. So it's like it puts you in that catch 22. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, why can't I enjoy the content that I like? What's so wrong about that? What is so wrong about liking a creator that you like? Why are people so, they need to pick a side? They need to support one or the other. You don't have to do that. If you enjoy a creator, enjoy that creator. That's all that matters. Hello. Why? Oh my God, my eyes are really bad. Is it Love and Life at Home? If I hope I read that right. Hello. And hello, Johnny. I'm like, I just need to make that appointment to get glasses at this point. I've been in such denial about it, but like the little chat, like a lot of the letters blend together now. So it's like a blur, and I'm like terrified of butchering somebody's name. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know if I should try. But yeah, that's what I want for my chat. And I did a whole live about it the other day, and I was just kind of, I think I said it a lot more eloquently than I'm saying it now, because I'm just tired right now. I did not sleep, and I don't even know why I'm on here, because I am not putting my best foot forward right now. I'm just not doing it. I don't know how. But I felt I like hanging out with you guys, and that's what's made it so complicated for me, is basically the fact that I like this community because I'm a part of this community. I enjoy the people here. I've become quite friendly with a lot of the people here, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. So for me, this is also my opportunity to come on here and, be with people who are supportive of me, and I enjoy their company. And right now in my personal life and a lot of our lives, I believe that, it's important. I think a lot of us really, really need connection, and a lot of us come to YouTube for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And, including myself. So that's why I'm here. People, because everyone's always like, well, then get off YouTube, or you don't belong in this community if you don't want to do drama. I literally heard that come out of somebody's mouth today. And I wanted to come on immediately and just scream from the rooftops that no, this was a true crime community. It was. I'm sorry, like, that's just the reality. I've been here longer than the person who is talking. And, if you're going to say that if you don't want to do drama, you need to get out. No, I don't stand for that. I'm not going anywhere. So that's all. That's all I have to say about that. And I think anybody who's been here long enough can verify that. That's not saying that we can't do drama. We can. I don't want to do drama. I'm not going to be doing it. But if people want to do it in the community, I don't care about any of that. But what I do care about, though, is human decency. And I do care about people very much. And when I'm seeing people who I care about, oh, Earthbound Spirit, that's right. Oh, yeah. You mentioned that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you mentioned that today was the anniversary of that. I hope you're holding up, and I'm glad that you made a video. Is it like, did you put it on your channel, or is it like something personal? Like, I can understand if that was something personal, but if it's on a channel, I would love to see it. That sometimes that can be like a healing process. Going through like pictures and putting stuff together, I think. Right. Yeah, Allison, I think you're completely right. I do. And I think that that's how a lot of people came onto you. That's how I found this. I never in my entire life would have thought that I was going to come onto YouTube and go into chat rooms. Never. Oh, it's on your channel. I'll definitely check it out with Brown Spirit. When I get off here, I definitely will. That's awesome. And I hope you're holding up okay. That can't be easy. I can't even imagine. So, positive vibes sent your way 100%. But I do think there's a lot of people that are bored and angry, and I think that a lot of people come on here and they behave in ways that they would not behave otherwise. And that's one of the things I want my dad to come on and talk about, is the psychology of social media and what drives people, what personality types are drawn to different things on the internet, and what draws the different personality types that you're going to find on here, because you'll see each and every one of them on here. Each and every one. And I've actually seen a few people take accountability for their behavior lately on here, and I think that's amazing. I am like, I'm actually kind of in shock. But we don't know. That's the other part of it, though, is we don't know what other people are dealing with in their personal life and stuff. So when they come on here, all we see is that mean person lashing out. And I always like to tell myself that there could be a reason behind that. So I don't judge people too quickly. And I don't judge people on having one bad day and saying something completely, I don't judge people on that at all. Especially subscribers, because I get it. I've had some bad days on here too. Like I said, I'm like, I don't, as a creator, I probably should be more organized about how I do things if I want to grow my channel and be, do things in a more consistent manner. And I am going to do that. I just needed to come on here and talk tonight. So yeah, all I'm going to say about the matter, I know I don't have a loss in my family. That's not it. I'm not used to, having the house to myself. So that's all. And it's nothing like anybody's going to think. I guarantee you that not a single person is going to guess what it is. But, it's just I'm not used to being by myself in here. So I was like, you know what, I can come on to YouTube. I can chat with people that I enjoy chatting with. And that's why I'm here. And that's all I care about. And that's the message. If I can get any message home, it's that I don't really care what channel I see you in. I don't care what channel you come from. People like, and I've asked my chat that of my chat as well. If you see somebody that's from a creator that you really don't care for, give them a chance. In my chat, I want everybody to feel welcome, because I don't judge subscribers. I don't judge people for enjoying certain It's not a crime to enjoy creators that you enjoy. And I don't want to be associated with anything. So if you're in my chat, that should in no way implicate you as supporting anything except for me, because I stand on my own 2 feet. That's all. I have loyalty to nobody but the people who support me. And it's not the creators that support me. I'll tell you that. It's you guys. So yeah, when a creator, it is tiring. A lot of people have been taking a step back from YouTube, and that says something too. I just want people to know that this isn't normal. The stuff that goes on here, we have just been experiencing it so much that we've normalized it, and it's not normal. This is not something that should be going on. The stuff that people are doing to each other is not, it's not okay. And I've learned a lot about a lot of people like and I don't use that information to it's just from observing, right? So it's just from observing. I'll like register that information in my head, going forward, and how I like interact with them. But I'm just, I've been disappointed on here. I really have. I've been impressed too. I think there's a lot of people that have really impressed me as well. So I think there's hope. I do think there's hope. And I just want to be like a safe haven from that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to be doing true crime. I'm going to be talking about like weird, like I have a bunch of different segments. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm doing a deep dive into the Columbine massacre. I have literally gotten the 11K, which is 11,000 pages. 11,000 pages of what is the word for it? Witness testimonies, police interviews, all of that. And I've had to print it out myself. So, because I was not paying for somebody to do that for me and have it sent out. I wish I had, actually. So I actually need to get more paper. So I'm going through all of that for you guys. I am putting together all of the legitimate media associated with it. We are going to go like all the way down this rabbit hole, because it is a case that has fascinated me. There's a lot more than meets the eye. What the media showed people and what the media, portrayed was not accurate. And it, in my opinion, was to push certain political things and, stuff like that, and values, other people, their own values onto other people. So I thought that I'm gonna like pull the wool off of that, because I've done a lot of research on it. So I'm gonna be doing that, but I'm also gonna be doing like the weird and freaky kind of things. Like I'm doing the disappearances in national parks, like the missing 411 cases, the David Politis stuff, because I think that's great. Hi Tokyo, and I'm sorry if I miss anybody else coming in. Hi Rose. And that's kind of the stuff I want to do. Plus, I want to do stuff, and my dad's been kind enough to agree to come onto my panel pretty much for whatever I would like him to, within reason, I'm sure. So the next one I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have him do like a Q&A with you guys, so you guys can actually ask him your questions yourself. And he's done some work on the Crumbly case, so he's going to be joining me for a live about the violence in schools as well. So we are going to do some cool stuff here. And I have like a renewed faith in this community just based on the live I did the other day, where people came in and were civil to each other. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Because I don't care who people support outside of here. Like, I just don't. I'm going to continue to enjoy the creators I enjoy. I encourage everybody else to do the same, because that's how it should be. That's how it should be. And even myself was pushing too hard on this whole standpoint that wasn't realistic. And it took me taking a step back and kind of, I guess, getting off my high horse. I'll admit that, sure. But I am really a nice person. I do have very strong values, ethics. Like, it's how I was raised. So that's all legitimate. But for me to apply all of that onto YouTube, firstly, isn't fair. Secondly, isn't realistic. And like, it's not how this should work. So yeah. And that's what I want. Hey, Jenny, I want everybody to feel comfortable here. That's all. That if I can do one thing, it's that. And I like to think I have some good content planned. I can be kind of boring, like tonight, when my brain is just on complete empty, and I don't know why I came on in the first place, but I think it's because I wanted to hang out with some people, and I don't know. I've just done a lot of thinking about here, and that was it for me, though. That was it for me. It was at the end of one of my classes that I just took. People were you were encouraged to share like professional information. So, whether you worked for a marketing firm or, a business, or, you did social media, because a lot of people that take these classes are doing social media. And one of them was like, "What's your YouTube channel?" And I'm like, "There's no way in hell I'm telling you what my YouTube channel is. Because this is not, I cannot associate myself with this professionally." And that really was eye-opening. I'm like, well, that really should be telling me something. So yeah. And Rose, that's how it should be. That really is, like, there are, if people like a channel, don't. I myself was guilty of staying away from channels that I enjoy for all of the wrong reasons. And I had to think of, hi, Mrs. B. I had to think about it. I was like, okay, so yes, this person is having an issue with this other creator. Yes, this person has behaved in a way that I personally would never behave, and I don't necessarily agree with. But do I still enjoy their content? Yes, I do. So why am I not watching them anymore? Like, what am I doing? Like, who am I? You know what I mean? So I just encourage people to watch what makes you happy, what brings joy to your life. If there's a chat that, you really enjoy and that brings joy to you and, is a safe place for you, I encourage you to go there. And eventually people are going to get bored with this. Eventually, it's going to calm down. It has to. It has to, because I think more and more people are, and that's the other thing. I have, my email should be in my about section. It is beeplus44@gmail.com. And yes, I have not checked my email in a little bit, but I should. There's no excuse for not checking my email lately. No excuse. I did the other day, but yeah, that's the whole thing. And that's what I was also saying to myself. It's like, there are creators that are in this community that have been here for a long time, longer than me. I've been in this community, but I haven't been a creator for that long. So every day when I wake up, I see on my YouTube, I see, on my recommended, I see at least, I swear to you, at least 2 or 3 new channels, some of them with names that I know, others that with names that I don't recognize, talking about the same things. So here's how this works. If you are oversaturating a market that is already oversaturated and there is not enough demand for your product and your content, it's gonna explode, guys. It's not gonna work. So anybody who's already an established channel, this does not apply to you. You are already like look at it as like the shoe market. You are already the Nike, the Adidas, the Reeboks. You have already established. This doesn't apply to you. But for small channels like myself, there's just it's too much. Like, we don't need all of these people saying the same things and going over the same lives and the same, they're, no. And that's also eye-opening for me as well. Like, if I want to continue on and just do that, I'm putting myself in a corner, and it's not a corner that is congruent with what I believe in, what I'm able to do, because I just don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to be mean to people. I don't have it in me. So, I don't, that's the whole thing. And I got kind of pissed off today hearing that, people like me don't belong here. That I disagree with you wholeheartedly on that. I think that, am I going to be popular? Probably not. Am I going to like have my channel explode overnight? Definitely not. But it is what it is. So all I can think is, once I figure out, like, once I start doing my stuff, yeah, and that, and that's good stuff, Allison. Like, even if you're like, right, well, I think that a community is at its best when it's balanced. So hey, Kellyanne, there can be drama channels, there can be true crime channels, there can be some that do a little bit of both, but I also think that there's a place for channels that do something a little bit off the beaten path, which there are here, and some of them actually do quite well. But I appreciate that, because when I'm looking for content and I've already listened to the live that, everybody is dissecting, I get bored. That's just me personally, because I've already heard it. And I don't want to listen to it over and over and over again, because I have ADD. I'm always on to the next new thing. So, and I'm like running out of options. When I want content, I've actually turned YouTube off entirely, and I never used to do that. I never used to have to just turn it off entirely. So, I think that's actually been a good thing, though, because I've gotten way more into like my audiobooks, and like I said, guys, I'm all into like weird stuff. So like I listen to a lot of Coast to Coast AM. I'm into all that, like, weird paranormal. Not that I'm like a true believer of anything. I'm fascinated. I always like to I like to know things, and I always like to ask why. And so if I can debunk something, I will gladly debunk it. But there are a lot of things in this world that I cannot debunk, and I just have to appreciate that. Yeah, there really is, Rose. And there is a lot of competitive, and I get that. A lot of people are competitive. A lot of people are very territorial. Not everybody, but and I kind of get it, because I myself find myself getting annoyed when I see, like, channels doing things for all the wrong reasons, because I've certainly seen that. I've seen a lot of people pick fights with people for no reason except to get their name out there and build their channel, and it's blatant and it's obvious, and quite frankly, it's kind of annoying. But that's just me being petty, so I don't even want to go down that road, and I'm not using names, because I know that each of us have experienced that at some point in time on YouTube, because I've actually seen it a few times. I get a kick out of it, but it does annoy me a little bit, because I'm like, really, like, we're not better than that, come on. But yeah, oh yeah, I saw a video pop up actually about that, Rose, and I actually saved it to my watch later. And I'm not sure if it was a creator that posted. I don't know if it was somebody suggested. I've been I know, guys, I'm a huge nerd, so don't laugh at me too hard. There's a new open world Harry Potter game coming out in the holiday season of this coming year, and I'm like obsessed, because in my entire childhood, all I wanted was an open world Harry Potter game that's like, Skyrim / like, Fallout-esque, with like some. I'm a video game nerd. I know I'm probably speaking like Greek to people right now. I'm really excited about that. So they had like some gameplay footage that came out yesterday, whole 15 minutes of it, and I had like chills. I had like goosebumps, like the hair was raised on my arms. Like, I was like, oh my god, I'm in heaven. I'm 33 years old, and I've been waiting my entire life for this. So I'm a huge nerd. Oh yeah, you're not. Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a gamer, Rose. I'm not very good at it. It's kind of hard to be bad at Fallout. So, I like, Fallout New Vegas is definitely my jam. I play Pokemon. I'm not going to lie. I'll be open and honest about that. I definitely play Pokemon, but that's a new thing. That's because I got a Switch, and I was like, I'm going to play this. So, but yeah, it should be scrolling across my email as well. Like I said, it's beeplus44@gmail.com, and I don't know why people can't see it. I've actually heard that a few times, so maybe I need to I need to look into that. My dad came on here. He's never used StreamYard before, and he was like sharing he wanted to share his screen with you guys and stuff but like I think it was my anxiety about it that like, made him not do it. But it's only because I'm a very anxious person in general. So if I feel like there's gonna be technical I just need to do things. Like I've always been like that. I have such hesitation for a lot of things. I just need to like do things like pulling a band-aid off. I just need to do it because I just do. But that was my thing. I was like, he was doing it better than I can. I don't even know how to use this thing yet. I'm learning though. And I'm actually using PowerPoint. I didn't use PowerPoint in 10 years and I had to do it for one of my projects. And I was like, oh my God, PowerPoint has changed quite a bit since, 2008. Actually that's more than 10 years ago. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Wow. All right. But, I don't know. I'm putting together some good stuff. So I'm hoping that people want to be a part of it. And I am going to do some like open panels too. So tomorrow night I was going to do it tonight, but because I'm like so tired and like emotionally drained, like I said, I have like, I have something going on in my own life that is, difficult for me right now. So, and it's all good. It's something that it's a good thing. It needed to happen. And it's for this person's own good, and it's going to be good. I have to tell myself that, but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to have somebody you care about struggle really badly. And, I really am hesitant to like bring children into things because of what goes on here. So I try to avoid that topic at all costs. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like let me see. We can play around with this. Let's see. Are any of them bigger? Is that like no? Is this like, I don't know. That's the biggest I can get it, I think. I don't know. I give up. But some cold cases. Well, that's interesting you mentioned that. I don't know if what I plan on doing for the other segment I'm doing is considered. They are technically cold cases, but I am also going to be delving into missing persons cases that I have caught my interest, because I have many that I've actually looked for on YouTube and I can't find anything, or I can find like a little bit here and there, and it's usually lives, which if I don't like somebody's voice, I'm not going to listen to their live. And I haven't really clicked with anybody's voice that has done them. So I do have some cold cases that I'll be doing. Just they might not be necessarily what everybody's thinking of, but I do take suggestions. So if you have a case that you are interested in having some coverage done, by all means, send me an email and let me know. I have some rabbit holes that I need to go down for my own, just because I've done research on it. And I know people like, judge people for, I was thinking about it because YouTube really likes to censor like a lot. I've heard a little birdie told me actually that having true crime in your name, like in your name as a channel, really hurts the algorithm. Like your channel is not going to come up as frequently, just for having true crime in it. So I don't know I know that this is, I've actually tested it on other platforms. I'm assuming it's also true on YouTube. But I'm not entirely sure. And this is from somebody who I know professionally, who does algorithms for like a living, for hire. So, because it's constantly changing, but I have heard that they're cracking down. So I've been hesitant to do some of these things, especially when it comes to like, violence in schools. They really don't like to have that on here. I've heard that that's towing a line. You have to do it very carefully, and I intend to do it carefully and respectfully. I also intend to be very, very clear that, in my chat, there will be no glorification. There will be no victim bashing. In fact, and I know this is going to be unpopular opinion, I don't want parent blaming in my chat either when it comes to these things. That's just my own, I'm not comfortable with that. Because we don't know the families, right? So we don't know what was going on for sure. We could speculate, we can look into things, but we don't know for certain. And I'm not comfortable calling anybody, judging things like that we don't have evidence of, like concrete. I like to deal in facts. Really, you could mention, Heather. I have no issue with that. I don't mind. I'm always curious, so I always like to find new things because, like I said, I'm quite bored with the stuff that comes up in my suggested currently, because it all has to do with this, like this community and the drama, and I'm just like, I want something different. But let's see. You watch an interrogation of a man who killed his girlfriend. They were drunk in his ex. Yeah. I think actually, yeah, my dad told a story about something not exactly like that, but it was a guy, and he actually corresponded with this guy for years. I remember too, because we used to get a Christmas card from him every single year, and he was in prison for life. I don't do, my dad is a public speaker. I suck at it. So I shouldn't even be trying to relay this. It sounded much better coming from him, but the guy, he had been hunting with his friend, and they had done a lot of drugs that, can cause some paranoia, some hallucinations, and like he was really not in his right mind. And he, in his paranoia, when they got home, because he still had his gun, he assumed that his friend was trying to do something, so he killed his friend. He killed his friend's like girlfriend and then their child as well. All like on the hair trigger, because his mind was somewhere not realistic, like it was just delusional. And I mean, I can't, it's crazy. I actually saw a case about that too, about something else that was it was called, where did I see it, but the case was called the Acid King, and that was kind of interesting. I saw that on a channel called Haunted Autopsy. He's almost at 1 million, if he's not at 1 million yet. So I mean, I don't mind plugging a channel that, has that many subscribers. That's like common knowledge. But yeah, okay, you did hear it. But yes, it is. My dad, it's like has a lot of stories like that, and that's what I was trying to like kind of encourage him to go into. But I don't know. I was nervous. I've never done that. I've never interviewed somebody before. I've never done anything like that. Plus, I'm like the worst at interrupting people, which is why I've always been hesitant to have like open panels, because I just feel like it'll be me interrupting people. But I'm a good listener, I promise. That's what the mute button's for. That's a mute button. And I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about my channel's future, and I know it's been discouraging. It's been discouraging that, some stuff as simple as somebody saying something about me. Hi, YT Bedtime Stories. I'm glad. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. He'll be back on this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna have him. I don't know. No, he does what he wants, but he's gonna answer people's questions, because he was actually really impressed with the questions that people were asking. He was impressed that there were some really great questions in the chat, and I wasn't able to get to all of them. I was like desperately trying to write them down as I saw them. And I had already had a bunch of people email me a bunch of questions, and it was getting late, and I've never I'll check that out, Blooming Heather. I haven't heard of him. So think about it though, guys. There's like millions, billions probably of YouTube creators, and I've probably heard of none of them. So I am always down to, there was the first YouTube creator that I really started to enjoy, and I've enjoyed him less and less because of and I feel bad even saying it, because who doesn't want to make money, right? So he's at like 3 million subscribers, I think, at this point. And he has all the sponsors, and a lot of the things are sponsored content. He's running out of ideas, because he's been doing this since I can't even tell you how long, probably 2015, maybe earlier. And I think he's using like subscriber input and a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's not what he used to be, but I used to enjoy it. It's called Top Fives. I used to enjoy his channel quite a bit, and I'll still go through like the old videos, because a lot of his old videos, like he was doing something that I hadn't found on YouTube before. It was like, a lot of stuff had been, he censors stuff now, but because he has sponsors, which, you kind of have to, but that's business, right? I can't be too mad at people for that. I can't. So I just like it when, things that people don't care as much, and they just do what they want, and they put out content. And I really love that phase of a channel. Because for me personally, I was on YouTube. I had 129,000. So I can tell you right now, the minute you have sponsors or anything like that come in, you have to change your content. to appease that. You can't be graphic. You have to have rules. And at least I did. And it sucked. And it wasn't worth the money in hindsight. I'll be honest with you. So I would have much preferred to just continue to do things the way that I wanted to do them and not worry about anything like that. So I will, yeah. I'm not planning on being on here too long today. I just kind of wanted to stop in and say hello to people and let people know that my dad will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. and we'll be answering people's questions. So wherever that takes us, like I said, guys, he does criminal justice, like a whole bunch of things on it. I mean, you're welcome to Google him. I mean, his name is out there. His name's Frederick Reamer, Frederick without a K. So if you want to take a look at his work, you want to, if you have any questions about that, I mean, feel free. I am actually still, everybody who came into the chat this past time, I noted it. So anybody who came into my chat, I put you in a raffle to, raffling off an autographed copy of his book on the parole board. So I'm gonna draw that soon. I'm trying to put in like extra. I didn't realize you could actually see who's subscribed to you because I'm dumb and don't know how YouTube works really, but I'm learning. I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated, guys. I'm gonna get this. I'm taking this seriously. But I figured out how you can. So I was trying to put in like extra names into it where people are actually subscribed to me. But most people that actually watch were subscribed to me. I think only 17% weren't subscribed to me, which is good and bad. It means that I'm not out in that. It means I'm not out in the algorithm. So how you can help with that is you can hit that thumbs up. That definitely helps get my channel out into the algorithm. Hi, Xylee. That's right. That girl. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's why I put everybody that was in the chat in as well. So I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. So I have to do that. And yes. Oh, and I'm glad that you subscribed. See, then that makes me happy. That makes me happy if I can have one person that, saw that and was like, I like this. That's what matters to me. Because that's what I want to do. I do want to grow my channel. I do want to like bring stuff to this community. I don't want to go anywhere else because I like the people here. But I also like, I don't mind finding people from other communities too if they want. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing something different. I don't want to talk about the stuff that goes on here or else it's just me venting or commentating on the stuff that I see because I am part of this community. I've been here for a year. I've seen people come and go. I've seen the ups and downs. And I've made friends, so I do come on here and I do talk about it, but that's not the purpose of my channel. I'm not here to drag anybody. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to bully anybody. I'm not here to do any of those things. My intention is never to hurt anybody on here. And I have never had that intention. So I have apologized privately to people that I may have said some things that were not so nice about, but my version of not so nice is definitely not the stuff that I'm seeing. So I guess there's that. So a lot of people are like, why are you apologizing? And I'm like, well, because I thought I said something hurtful. So I'm apologizing. So just accept it or don't. But they're like, I didn't even remember that. I'm like, all right, well, I did. So I don't know. I'm just a nice person. I'm not cut out for the drama stuff. I'm not a clapback channel. I don't clap at anybody. I hate when people clap in my face. That goes right down my spine. And I've had it like working in retail, working in customer service. You get a lot of people clapping in your face. So it makes my blood boil. I definitely, that'll get me from like 0 to 10 very easily. So I don't want to do that. Nothing involving clapping. Or else you're clapping when I win. In that case, I notice who doesn't clap. But I think I saw a meme that said that. So that was lame. I'm going to move on. Moving on. My brain is just not working today. Oh, Xylee, I was a manager at Walmart for 5 years. 5 long years. So, yes. Walmart pays their management very, very well, but at a cost. But at a cost to your soul and your physical health and your mental health, and it wasn't worth it. So we don't talk about that anymore. No. I think moving on from that. But yeah, retail doesn't always suck. I mean, I worked for a company that I really, really liked, but of course it went out of business. So yeah, there was that. They were like, we don't want to do business in the United States anymore because the United States is kind of a wild card right now in terms of, the economy and like, what people are doing. So yeah, we're just going to stay in Canada. And I was like, all right, well, that sucks. But that's why, and I was like, I'm going to go back to school. So I'm a full-time grad student, and that's what I do. I do freelance social media management on the side. I have some clients that I've had for a very long time. And that's all that matters. I actually have some clients doing some really awesome stuff. So if anybody here reads, I'm not sure if anybody here, like, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, like, enjoys reading, because it's not everybody's cup of tea, but even audiobooks, and you're into like, well, I'll do a whole live plugging him because he did. I have not been drawn in by a book series since Harry Potter and like Lord of the Rings. So for this series to have drawn me in the way it did, it has to be good. I promise you guys, it's good. And I wouldn't classify it as young adult. I think that's like originally kind of what it fell under, but it's not that anymore. So I'm not really sure. I think it's geared at like my age, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Xylee. Thank you. I always enjoy seeing you pop in here. You are hilarious. I always enjoy your lives. Because it's hard to be self-aware when you're in the thick of things. And sometimes it takes, another community laughing at you to realize that, maybe something's wrong here. Maybe. But I don't know, guys. That's all. If I can push that, like, I don't want to fight with anybody on here. I like a lot of people, honest to God, like I do. And I don't have an issue with a lot of people personally. My issue with things have been through what I've seen done to others. But I also have to remind myself that, in my real life, would I behave that way? Would I drop somebody like that for something like that? And the truth is that I think relationships and, who we associate, it's much more complicated than that. And I don't think it's fair to, I actually want to do a whole live on the psychology of it. I really do, because it's also like a web that I've been trying to connect as to why I personally have applied certain like things onto the YouTube community, like how I see it, when I wouldn't do that in real life. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us can see. Hi, Dave. Good to see you. You're not late. I wasn't even going to come on here at all. I apparently scheduled it for tomorrow, and I probably should have just kept it that way. Because I feel like I'm ranting and being awful and boring people to death tonight. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm not used to having the house to myself. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna say hello to people, because you guys are kind of my support system at this point. Like, I have family, I have friends, I have a life. But it's not what it used. My life and my identity was always work. It was always my career outside of the house, and not having that anymore has it's hindered my social life, if that makes sense. So, I come on here. I don't need to I think a lot of us are in similar positions. We all have a reason why we come on YouTube to socialize, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I used to always be like, well, I don't want to. Thank you, Dave. He'll be back on Wednesday. I know that, like, you're in the UK, so for you it's at like way too late. But you seem to be you seem to stay up late though, so I don't know. But it's earlier than now. So if you're up now, yeah, okay, it could be good work. He'll be on at 7 p.m. again, my time. So I'm not sure what time that is yours, but I always forget how many hours you guys are ahead of us. I want to say it's 5, but I feel like it's more than that. It's between 5 and 8, and I can't remember. And I should probably just Google it and not talk. But yeah, so that'll be that, and that'll be like an open panel. I'm not sure how many people would be interested in coming up. You don't have to be on camera, obviously. Like, you have no obligation to be on camera. Obviously, I have not been on camera. And I was gonna change that, but I don't know, guys. It's not that I'm not ashamed of how I look, obviously, guys. So that's the other thing. If I've proved anything, because I've seen actually people say that I'm not who I say I am, like in terms of like my pictures. And I've always found that to be amusing, but I'm pretty sure my dad would have noticed if this wasn't my picture. I'm pretty sure he would have said something. He'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" If you guys knew my parents, they don't. They are like pinnacles of morality and ethics, and we don't do that. They don't do that stuff. So my dad would say something. I am in Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Rhode Island. Hey, Captain Kangaroo, good to see you. And you're like on the entire other side of the world, I think. Um, I was just assuming because it said kangaroo. I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure where you're from. I'm not going to assume. That was rude. But kangaroos are really interesting creatures, though. I actually saw a documentary about them, and I was like, I didn't realize they were so big. Like they're like taller. Like I don't know why I always just assumed it like to be like a cute little animal, but they're not cute little animals. Complete tangent. Okay, I thought you were from. I that is my bucket list. I want to go to Australia so badly, but the plane ride, not the plane ride to Japan, but the plane ride home from Japan traumatized me. And I think Australia is even further. So I'm not sure. I'd have to be knocked out like the entire time because I would get so claustrophobic on a plane for that long. But it would be worth it because I'm like, I don't know. I know it's weird. I know a bunch of people probably go over there and they're like, I like the, the animals, and I do like animals. So I've always wanted to see some of the animals there, and it looks beautiful. So I would have, yeah. So that's my bucket list. It'll probably never happen, but hopefully someday. But yeah, so I'm like weird. I go on weird trips like just for the heck of it. I'm kind of spontaneous, so I never say never. I never say never. I was supposed to go to Europe actually very soon. I don't know if that's going to happen though. And I was actually thinking about it. I was like, I was supposed to be for some concerts, because they've been postponed for years now. They've been pushed back and pushed back. So I was supposed to go to Prague and Berlin, and I didn't realize I still had tickets to go. So I'm like, do I really want to get on a plane and go to Europe? I don't have a hotel booked or anything like that. I just have the concert tickets and a plane ticket. So I don't know, guys. I'm not really in a financial place where I can do that. So I'm like, I'm thinking of, and then I looked into selling the tickets, but like they're personalized. So you have to sell it through like the official, like it's a German company. And I don't know. It's a whole thing. So I don't know. I'm debating whether I want to go. I have tickets to the US tour as well. This is the band that I've done work for. That I would love to share with you. I don't think I'm under the NDA anymore for that. I haven't been contracted by them in a while. But I hope to be, and I'm kind of mad to see that they are doing a marketing campaign in the US right now, and I was not contacted to be a part of it, so I'm a little salty. That's okay though. I didn't reach out. But and I don't know if I'd want to do it right now anyway. I'm ranting and like rambling, but I'm a music person, so I like music very, very much. I am a musician, so I've been planning on coming on and doing some of that for you guys too. Not that I'm like, particularly good at anything. I've been playing guitar since I was 10, so I can play. It's the one thing that I know like confidently. I'm always unsure of myself for a lot of stuff, but I can confidently tell you I am good at guitar. I do play bass, I play piano, I can read music. But I'm no Hendrix, obviously. Actually, there's some people on here that are I perceive to be really good musicians too. So I like to see that. But I am gonna play some music for you guys when I finally do go on camera, and I will. I don't know why I don't. I think my excuse before, and I don't have this excuse anymore, but when I first came on here in January, it was because I had cut my hair. I had grew my hair out for my sister's wedding, and obviously, as you can see from this picture, blonde is not my natural hair color. I have like dark blonde, like very dark blonde hair naturally. And it does like lighten up at the ends, but that's definitely dyed. Oh, 6-year-old boy missing in Florida in the Hillsborough area. I'm guessing there's probably an Amber Alert. So hopefully that's gone out. But if anybody is in Florida in the Hillsborough area, there is a missing boy, 6-year-old. We had a missing person where I am. They were found today, but I was like, that I live in the smallest state, guys. So to drive from one side of my state to the other, it's like an hour. It takes an hour to drive across my entire state, and everybody that knows somebody that knows somebody, like it's a blessing and a curse. So we don't have a whole lot of interesting things that happen here, and I don't mean missing kids are interesting, and I think it's a good thing. I'm glad that we don't. I don't think that was the right word, but no, I agree with you. Missing children do need awareness, and a lot of the time, it's critical at those moments. Like the sooner you get that message out, the better. Because I think we see, I know there's statistics of like, if you wait certain amounts of time, it becomes less and less likely. And yeah, it baffles me, the people that go just vanish off the face of the planet. And there are some cases of that I am like, there's actually a relatively famous case, and it's kind of famous on the internet more so than it was like in the news, because a lot of like podcasts and stuff like that and Reddit went down this rabbit hole. But it happened right by where I was at that time. I was at a program in Vermont when Brianna Maitland went missing. I actually know exactly the people that she was hanging out with at that time. I don't know them personally. The people that they suspect had something to do with it, but I knew one of their family. They were from New York. So there were these people that would come from New York to Vermont to sell drugs. And a girl that I was at that program with was dating, I don't know if it was a brother or a cousin. And I remember when that happened. I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, there was it was a really small town. I mean, Vermont's pretty rural, no matter where you go. So I remember that happening. And then there's the other case that fascinates me, the Mara Murray case. I know somebody who knew her, and not like well, but she was like an attendant. He was at UMass Amherst at that time, and he was in the dorm that she did her like work study. So she would be sitting in like the foyer, and you would have to show your ID to go up to your dorm. So, I mean, he had like he knew who she was. He had no idea that she went missing. And I was like, how do you not know that? I feel like that was all over, and I don't know. But I don't understand how people just vanish off the face of the earth. And it happens all the time. Because people have to go somewhere, right? I mean, I can speculate in my weird theories about things all I want, but 9 times out of 10, there's like a scientific reason for things. And like usually the simplest answer is the right one. I can thank Law and Order SVU for teaching me that. With, if you hear hoofbeats in Central Park, think horses, not zebras. And I try to keep that in the back of my mind when I look at true crime cases, because a lot of the time you'll see people go down these like weird rabbit holes, and I feel like the truth is usually more what your gut tells you it is. Sometimes not. That's not always true. There's definitely some things that have come out that people have speculated and it gets proven as fact. I'm not saying this is like a one size fits all, but those are the cases that fascinate me, though. And what fascinated me and why I'm doing the Columbine case is because what the media presented, because everything changed after that. It changed. I don't know about the world, but I know in the United States after that incident, that 9/11 changed everything for us. In terms of, and I was in school at that time. I was in high school at that time. So it changed how, I was in school and how people were perceiving things. And how the media, and that was the music I listened to too, was the music that like literally the bands that they like demonized after that were like some of my favorites and still are. And I don't know. I remember like all of a sudden, like there's just a whole, like under a magnifying glass, and how the media portrayed that is just so far from the truth of why things happen. And the truth is scarier than like what people think. I thought I knew what happened. Nope, not even close. How witness protection, yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do people hide with cameras and social media? Like, I don't understand how that works. And I'm glad that they are able to do it, because there are certainly people that need it. And I think it serves a purpose, but like there are people, and you know what, you're right. It's not just missing persons. It's also people like, associated with a crime. Like, I hate always harping on the Watts case because, well, we all know why, but Nicole Kessinger. I mean, nobody could figure, like, she vanished off the face of the earth. I've heard so many theories about that. I've heard I sound like her. And I was joking with somebody. I was like waiting for that to be the next conspiracy theory that goes around for, we probably could. We probably could, Allison. And that, I'm glad that you feel that way, because a lot of people don't like to listen to me talk forever. But I'm also guessing that a lot of some other people just went live. I can usually tell when my viewer count drops is when I know that there's somebody else here. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of theories in that case, and I'll tell you right now. Even I want my dad to tell you guys his thing on the Watts case, because it doesn't fit. Given the information that we have, that's not to say there isn't information that we're not privy to, because let's be honest, guys. I know that all of us want all of the information, but we're not entitled to it. So I have to remind myself that I have to be, if it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But given that information that we do have, it doesn't make sense. That case does not make sense from a psychological standpoint, from a criminological, is that a word? I don't know. It is now. From that standpoint, from any of them, it is bizarre. It doesn't fully fit into anything that, yeah, and most crimes do. So I actually want my dad to talk about that, because he has a really interesting case on the Watts case. So I nobody believe, really. I feel free to email me. I'd love to hear your theory. I've contemplated what, actually, that was the case that I first wanted to come on here and do a year ago, because I was toying with the idea of a channel for a long time. At first I wanted to be, and I actually changed my name to this very briefly, to True Crime Book Club, because I love true crime books, and I was like, nobody is doing book reviews. And then I realized that would really limit my target audience. I can do that and other things, but I was fascinated by the Watts case, as were most people, and that's what brought me to YouTube. That was really one of the first, that was the first crime that I've gone on YouTube to look into. And the case is fascinating. Let's be honest. I don't think it needs to be harped on quite as much as it has been. You know what I mean? I feel like there are some people that have taken it in a way that I don't think is right, if that makes sense. I think it's exploitive. Why? Oh my God. I'm usually so good with words. Exploitive. We're going to say that. Yeah. And I don't dig that. I like people that do things for the right reasons. I don't like people that do things for money, or else it's actually benefiting the case. I think I have some opinions on the Summer Wells case and what goes on, with the YouTubers that have felt it necessary to, I have to often ask myself, are they doing more good than, actually, what? My dad actually did an article about social media and whether it either helps or hinders law enforcement from these cases. So actually, that would be a great topic for you guys. I will have to remind him of that so he can talk about that as well, because I see it both ways. I see it as, you've seen some cases that social media has helped. So, for example, Luca Magnotta, don't fuck with cats. Social media cracked that case. The Gabby Petito case, there was a YouTube channel called Red, White, and Bethune, who, God bless them, because they cracked that case too, through social media, with their YouTube channel and the footage that they got. I truly believe that she would not have been found if it wasn't for them, at least not as soon. So, yeah, I agree, Earthbound Spirit. And the reason for it, and I understand why, sort of, but I feel like there's more to it, me personally. I understand tax money, they don't want to, I get that. Like, I get that it's expensive, but, people have the right to that. And I would have liked that just because of the discovery. But, it is what, but yeah, I would like to hear his opinion. Yeah. I agree. Well, yeah, Allison, what that became is another story. I'm just, I agree with you on that. What I think, at this point, I'm not sure whether social media, YouTube is helping find Summer, or if it has just become a circus that is not helping find a little girl that needs to be found. Like, I actually stopped even looking at that case on YouTube anyway, because of how frustrating it got. I was like, I don't know if I just can't. But, I like to think that there are people that really want to help and they're not just doing it for clicks and views. But unfortunately, there's always going to be those people that see these cases as a money grab. And part of me is okay with that, and part of me isn't. And I would love to explain that in detail because it sounds bad me just saying it that way. Um, because I'm a business person and my morals say no. My morals say no. What I'm comfortable with says no. But the part of my brain that's business savvy, and I see it as supply and demand, and I get that too. So I feel like there's got to be something in the middle that is an okay way to do it, but it's a tough line. Yeah, platforms do seem reluctant themselves, right? And I that makes you wonder, Dave. It really makes you wonder whether people do it for the right reasons, because I feel like people could be helpful. I really do. I really do. But a lot of the time what we see is people getting close to the victims or people involved in the case to, to show off those text messages, to record those phone calls and share them. And how is that really help? You're emotionally involving yourself in a case, in an active investigation. And I don't know how that's helpful. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. And there are creators that I actually like that have done that. So I'm not saying that it's I don't know. I'm interested to know other people's perspective. I'm on the fence about how I feel about it. Like I said, my morals say no. My business brain says I understand. But I don't always go with my business mind, obviously, because if I did, I'd be doing drama, uh, or trying to. I suck at it, but I would be trying. I would still be, for the sake of business, I would get myself to come on here and do that, but I can't. I can't do it. Most of the platforms are American based, so it tends to be. Yes. Dave, I really like that you say that. Using the Constitution rules. Yes, you are spot on, and I roll my eyes as I read it because it's so true, and I hate it. So I am not saying that I don't appreciate the rights and the freedoms that I have in this country. Not saying that at all, but I feel like a lot of people bend it in ways that it wasn't meant to be bent in. If that, these things were written in the 1800s. I could be wrong. I'm not a history buff. I believe 1800s. I could be wrong. But a lot of it's antiquated, and a lot of it, in my opinion. And I don't know. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I don't like YouTube. I don't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, in my mind, in my brain, in my business brain, I can see why somebody would do it. But I feel like there's a fine line. I feel like there are some people that put themselves in things for the wrong, and I don't like when creators get emotionally involved or try to build relationships with them just to show off, like the phone calls and the text messages. I don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me. That feels a lot like, all for show. And it's like a competition of, because I remember even with the Watts case, it was like a competition of who's talking to him in prison. I remember there being a lot of debates on that, and there was drama on Watts Island. I mean, let's be honest, we all know anyone who was on that island, we know, but it was nothing like what's going on now. I miss it, honestly. I would rather have that than what's going on now, where real people's lives are being affected by other people on YouTube. It has gone beyond what YouTube should be. There's an okay way to do drama. It's okay to be petty. It's okay to be salty. It's okay to be a little bit mean, and to people. I'm not opposed to it, but what I am opposed to is people going real life, people taking things too far to a point where it's hurtful to people. It is driving people off of YouTube, and they are standing by, the pillar of, well, then they didn't belong here. I disagree. I think that there is not a place for everybody. There's some people that I absolutely don't think should be on YouTube. I do. I'm sorry. That's just the case. But it takes a lot to get me to that opinion. But unfortunately, it's and I don't know where I don't know. I have my eyes wide open now, and I'm seeing stuff for what it is, and I'm disappointed. And there are some good people. Like, I'm not speaking about all creators. I think there are some creators that are behaving in ways that I don't care for, but I know they're good people. I can't say that for everybody, but I have gotten to know some people, And, and I feel like, when the dust settles, people will see that. But unfortunately, it's a mess. It's a mess. And the more you try to get out of it, the more people try to drag you into it. I see something new about myself every day that I didn't know, and I didn't even know I was big enough deal for anybody to care about what I do or what I say or anything like that. So, and I've never I've heard that I'm talking to all sorts of people and that I'm not who I say I am, and I've even heard that my picture isn't mine. I was like, well, no, that's not true. I mean, I, that's just not true. But and whatever. They're like, well, if you were on camera, I'm like, I don't owe anybody anything. And at first, they're like, well, if you would just show the receipts, but where are your receipts? Have you? If I'm challenge people. The problem with that though is that I've been cloned at least 3 times. Um, but people should know how I talk in chats. If anybody has been in a chat with me, I write novels. I write the way I talk. So I use every single letter that I am allotted to be able to use, and I write paragraphs. So see, and I can spell. I can spell, and I use grammar correctly. I just do. So when I see some of the screenshots I've seen of me supposedly in chats, it's clearly not me. It's clearly not me. So there's that. So there's hope. But the problem with the discussions on, say, the Watts case is YouTube creators aren't experts. Yes, of the certain parts of the case itself. It's true. It's true. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I actually think, I don't know if you came from, I hate saying it, came from Watts Island, but I'm not sure if I wasn't in chats for that. I was more just watching. I didn't start going into chats until really September, but I started here and there in the summertime. But I don't recognize a lot. I recognize some people's names. I was under a different name at that point. I was actually under something that was way too close to my real name that I should not have been using it that way. I don't know why I thought that was okay, but I'm not, whatever. Yeah, clearly whatever. But yeah, and then Beeplus was I'm actually allergic to bees. So the fact that I'm B+ is just ironic. It was because I was looking at a grade that I had gotten on a paper, and I was like trying to think of something that anything, because I was like drawing a blank as to what I wanted to change my name to, and I was like B+. I mean, there's a band called Plus 44. I'm not a fan of Plus 44. It's like an offshoot of Blink-182. But I think that had come up on my Spotify too. So I'm like, all right, well, we can do that. We'll do that. And now I can't do anything else. What I want to change it to is True Crime Detective. But I feel like that's really lame. And that's just what I'm going to call the segment instead of myself. So somebody would probably have a problem with it anyway. So I don't know. But it's true. A lot of people aren't experts on a lot of things that they talk about. And there's a lot of people that come on here and misrepresent themselves as well. They say that they are experts in X, Y, or Z, and that's just not the case. And that's how misinformation spreads. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like all of us are interesting in our own rights. I don't know why people have to represent themselves. I mean, I get that people want to seem important and feel cool and all of that, but if you're not an expert on something, then don't portray yourself to be, because people will believe it. The minute you say that you're an expert on something, people, that gives you credibility, and a lot of people here are very, very trusting, including myself. And I've had to learn to be more skeptical of things earlier on, before I see things with my own eyes. But so at this point, yeah, I don't need anybody to show me receipts, but at the same time, if you're a creator and you're up here and you're saying that you're bringing somebody up who's supposedly an expert, you need to verify that, because people will take something as fact when it comes from somebody they believe is an expert. That's just a fact of how people's minds work, and that's how you have things being verified in somebody's mind as truth, and they run with it. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of misinformation. Misinformation bothers the crap out of me. When somebody just sees something, and I've seen it happen about myself. There have been things said about me that I have seen people immediately take as fact, when the thing that was said was so out of character for me. If you've watched my lives, if you've been on my channel. So you were a nurse and worked at a funeral home. Yeah, actually, that's really interesting. We have a couple people that are in that business in one way or another, or have been. And yeah,
I get that. Yeah, and having knowledge like that I get. But, like, I'm more talking about people that come up with something that I'm what am I trying to say? Because I do believe that having life experience is just as valuable as, like, a formal education in a lot of ways. I believe that the ideal situation is both because let's be honest, when do things necessarily, like, translate from a textbook? Like, things in textbooks are based on a generic situation. When you try to apply it to the real world, it doesn't fit entirely. Like, you have to be able to I learned that in social work. Like, I started to get my master's in social work before I realized that it was incredibly triggering for me, and it brought me to a really, really awful place in my life, and I realized it wasn't for me. Because I think a lot of us that have, experienced stuff in our lifetime, a lot of us want to give back and bring our experiences and help, but you either do a really great job with it or it triggers the crap out of you. And I was in the second category. But I would never say I'm an expert about I don't have a formal degree in that. I have my bachelor's in criminal justice, but I would never say I'm an expert in criminal justice, just because I have a degree. I don't remember half the stuff from that degree, and half the times the degree isn't even focused on criminal justice. Heck, I was taking, myth and culture and, anthropology in an acting class. So, um, right. And that's me, Allison, 100%. Like, I'm terrible at math, but I somehow passed math classes. And then you look at, like, a lot of people that have graduated high school, yet they, I guess were pushed along in the system. And I saw that a lot with the kids at the group home. I had one kid who was on his transcript, said he was a junior in high school. He could not read. He could not read. I had to help him learn to read Dr. Seuss books. And he was a junior in high school. Like, how does that happen? And the system fails people. Like, I truly believe that. But that's where we're at. So, and I graduated. I got my associates first, and then it's not an exact science, exactly, Dave. Um, and I've even heard some people come on recently and say they're an expert in it. And I'm like, because you have a bachelor's degree? Like, I challenge that. I do. I'm sorry. I do. I challenge that. I think an expert comes with life experience. It comes with constant study, keeping up with the evolving best practice and the new theory, thought process, because it changes constantly. Like, the DSM changes constantly. So, like, if you're not keeping up with those things, you're not it's not rational. And I would never say I'm an expert in it just because I have a bachelor's degree. My life experience is in business, marketing, business, retail. That is what I am an expert in, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't have a formal education. I just have real life experience. But now I'm getting my master's. Now I have a formal education, which that I think I'd be comfortable saying I'm an expert in afterwards. And but I have to keep up with the current stuff. Yeah, no child left behind. I agree. I agree. Yep. And I was just appalled. I was like, how can a child who is on his transcript said to have met the requirements to be a junior in high school and not be able to read? I don't understand that. I don't understand how that's a disservice to that child. Because they're going to get that high school diploma and they're not going to be able to read. So I'm sorry. I was just flabbergasted. So I taught him we learned to read Dr. Seuss books. So at least he was able to sound things, you know what I mean? But, like, he was 17 years old. And that's sad. And he wasn't the only one. I mean, that was the worst one. I mean, like, at least some of the others could read a little bit. But he couldn't read at all. And not even a little. So and he actually didn't he's in prison for a very long time now. So I guess for something really, really pretty awful. So that's how his story ended. I don't think he's getting out of prison. He murdered somebody in cold blood. So I don't believe that he but I knew him when he was a kid. Like, I tried to help in every way, but you can't help everybody. And obviously I'm one person, and we got him when he was 17. So a lot of the stuff and the trauma in his life had already occurred. And unfortunately, that's how it was for him. So there's that. So, but there are some kids that, it was usually the kids that I thought weren't going to make it that are actually doing quite well now. And I'm actually proud. I've had some come back to me or find me on Facebook and be like, Emma, you really helped helped me. It is going to be a Q&A session, Dave. Yes. I'm going to allow people somehow. I would really prefer it if people have questions, if they contact me privately ahead of time so I can send a link, but I will drop a link if I have to, and trust that I will be able to screen things, well enough that nobody comes on here and, tries to show people things that nobody wants to see. Because we know how much people enjoy. I don't get that either. That's a whole psychological dysfunction of its own. Why people feel the need to come on here naked. I don't get that. I don't get it. And it's usually that, like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be mean, but like the people who probably, I don't know, I don't know. Like, the things I have seen on YouTube on lives, let me tell you, inadvertently, but I don't want to have to shut the stream down or anything. So, but I'll probably drop a link and people can come up, and I'll have to, we'll see how it goes. But the whole point of it, though, is yes, for him to do a question, because there's a lot of questions that I wasn't able to get to. And I know that there are a lot of people that would like to either not even have a question, but have something. You're right, Allison. Like, I mean, and it's people I've seen, and I hate being mean. I'm not doing this, but you know what? If you're going to come on here and do that, I have every right to be mean about it, because that's inappropriate. You shouldn't do that. You don't know who's watching. Nobody should be doing that. But there are some people that I'm like, why would you feel comfortable doing that? Because I'm not impressed. But that I'm gonna go. Yep. I'm gonna say it. So it's like, why would you be proud of, like, no. But that's just my opinion, and I don't think I'm alone in that opinion, because you don't know who's on here. You don't know if there's children on here. Like, you don't know. And it happens at all hours of the day. You don't know if it's like, somebody with their mom who happens to be watching that stream. You don't know. That's so disgusting. Like, don't do that, guys. There's no situation in which that I think that that's appropriate on here, or else you're like speaking privately with somebody, and it's one of those situations. However, and it's like, I don't even know how these people find these streams. That's the weirdest part. I haven't figured it out. But whatever. I guess it's like a rite of passage. It'll happen. But I really just would rather it not happen when I have my dad up there, because I did tell him that happens, and the look on his face was like priceless. He was like, that happens on there? And I'm like, maybe. Yeah, like Earthbound Spirit, nobody wants to see that. Oh, you do? Do you email me your YouTube link? I definitely could use a few more. Because I tend to come on when nobody's available. So I don't really know why. Usually I have one person, usually. But my chat is so tame. Like, I'm telling you, that is what I love about my chat. What I love about my chat is that I have people in here that support or even mod for some people that are kind of controversial in this community. And everybody gets along fine. I've had to kind of correct people a few times. I've had to call some people, very rarely though. Very rarely have I had to. Yeah, right, Earthbound Spirit? Like, just let people do their thing. Like, why would you want to do that? It's gross. Like, come on. I would never. That just, like, I feel like that's, I don't know. The internet needs something. I don't know. It's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, my chat's really something special, and I'm comfortable saying that at this point. I really am, because I've heard a couple people that have gotten, like, literally angry at me that I don't want to come on here and talk about Natasha. And I don't really know what to say to those people, because I said everything that I feel that I need to say on that topic. I can't keep harping on, you know what I mean? Like, I came on here because I experienced some, and I had some stuff to say, but at this, there's so many people talking, and I don't want to alienate anybody, because I have nothing against people who enjoy Natasha. And it's not a crime to enjoy her or anybody, and even though, I might not get along with a particular creator, anybody who's in those chats are welcome here too. And nobody should be judging anybody for that. I don't align with anybody anymore. If you want to support, Natasha, Dorothy, Granny, Kim and Crafty, I don't care who you support. All I care about is that people get along in here. That's it. That's it. I'm glad that you feel that way, Earthbound, because a lot of people do not feel that way. A lot of people, and there are a lot of people that wanted me to talk about other people as well. They had some sort of, there's a lot of people who don't like a lot of people on here. And you can't please everybody, right? Um, I'm not gonna side with anything. I'm not gonna do that. If I enjoy a creator, I'm gonna support the creators I enjoy. I'm sorry, I just am, and I'm not gonna be sneaky about it. I'm not gonna hide it, like, because I've even been hesitant to go into chats that I used to go into because of that dreaded screenshot, because of somebody being like, well, that means that you align with everything that this person does. No, it means I enjoy their content. I enjoy, like, a lot of it, I enjoy their voice, is a lot of it for me. And it doesn't mean I like the environment in their chat. And let's be honest, a lot of creators have very different environments in their chat. So what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem if I want to go into Natasha's chat and say hello? Why is that such? I'm just using that as an example, but like, I don't have an issue with the people in her chat. There are some that I've had differences with, but not, overall, I'm friendly with many of them. Same goes for, like Dorothy, like, she might not like me, but that doesn't mean that I don't have an issue with anybody who enjoys her channel. That's stupid. Like, it's stupid. Why would I care if you enjoy a creator? Like, go ahead, enjoy who you want. I'm not judging you. But right, and that's what it is for me, is the chat. And that's what I feel like has gotten lost. I feel like, there are creators that subs feel like if they're seen in a chat, that they'll see that and think that it's against them. And I just want to make it clear, I am not one of those people. You enjoy who you want to enjoy. I have close friends that go into chats of people that have done some pretty shitty things to me. But that's their right. If they enjoy that creator, enjoy that creator. That's what YouTube is. It's entertainment. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to talk about people negatively, Earthbound Spirit, because I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. I might have disagreements or issues with people briefly, and I know that people, yeah, it is the jealousy and paranoia, Dave. You're very spot on. You're very insightful. You really are. I think you've got a good sense of of a lot of this. You really do. And the problem though, Dave, is that a lot of the time, all of this hate, like, it gains subs. I have my channel has taken a massive hit just from stopping talking about other people. And also because of things that others have said, but or maybe I just suck. I don't know. I don't think it's that though. I have enough self-confidence to know that I don't suck at this. I don't. I have a lot to offer, but just the way things work here, then, and that's okay. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I might have issues with somebody briefly, but I get over things. And then you have people that are like, well, you came on here, you said you wanted to talk about behaviors and you wanted to call that. And that's originally what I wanted to do. But here's the thing about me. I'm ever changing, I change with new information. I am not so dead set in my ways and what I do that I dig my heels in. I don't think that's healthy. And it came to a point where, I couldn't do that. I do have strong morals and values, but even I found myself in a situation where I compromised that because I felt I owed loyalty. And I don't ever want to be in that situation again because, and then, obviously me, and just because I don't say things publicly does not mean I don't say them privately. And I want to make that very, very clear, because I do, and I did. But people don't know that. So, and obviously so I understand how it looked the way it did. And I'm going to just own that and go with that because nobody's ever going to believe you anyway. I could come on here and scream from the rooftops that I had already called this person out privately, and nobody's going to believe me. So that's fine. That's fine. And I don't record conversations or things like that because it's weird. And I don't know. And I mean weird, like, I'm not, okay. I don't mean that. I mean that like as I don't know. You guys know what I mean. Just conversations that don't need to be recorded, like between two people that think they're friends, is what I mean. That I don't understand. Also, I think there's laws against that. Like, you have to be in like a two-party state or something. So people might want to like check into that before they do that crap. Because you know, half the time I'm sure some of my conversations happen, I just don't know. But if I'm talking to somebody I think is a friend, that's weird and paranoid, and I don't do that shit. I have no interest in. Who has the time? Who has the time? Who has the time to do that? Right, and that's the problem though, is that me just calling out behaviors. I didn't want to use names, so my whole mantra was that, you know, if what I'm saying resonates with you, then there's a reason for that. If you think I'm talking about a certain person, there's a reason for that. But it got to a point where people were, you had to say names, and it didn't matter what you did or said. It was bad. I can't. I'm trying to articulate like what it was, but you know, even somebody like myself, who I have a strong sense of right and wrong when it comes to myself, but clearly it got to a point where everybody was doing stuff. So it's like, how am I calling out one person when someone else is doing the same thing? I can't. I can't do that. That's hypocritical, and I'm not a hypocrite. Um, you know, personal feelings aside, you know, that just makes me a channel that's targeting a particular individual. You know, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It doesn't mean that I like anybody. It doesn't mean that at all. Like, don't take that for like I can't, you know, I'm siding with that person. You don't see me in certain chats. You don't see me, and it's not because I don't. It's because I don't feel comfortable, or you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't mean I'm trying to go to their community or anything like that. If you see me in a chat, it's because I enjoy that creator, and I'm not going to hide it. I'm just not. There are some creators that I like that are very controversial at this point. Um, and I've enjoyed them for over a year now, and I'm not going to stop on the account of this kind of thing. And because I don't know why I was thinking that that's normal, because it's not. It's not. We're taking YouTube way too seriously. And I don't know where it started. I don't know why it started. I was doing these polls because basically what I was doing was like market research. So, do I think platforms should take more responsibility for what? I do, Dave. I do. I think the problem with that though, and where it gets murky, is drama sells. Drama is one of the main categories on social media. And it's a cash cow. It brings in a lot of money. It brings in a lot of AdSense. It brings in a lot of it makes money. So if they're going to crack down on smaller things, they have to crack down on the big ones too. So I don't think it's their of any intention of doing that at all. Plus, it's that fine line between our free speech too, right? So there's that constitutional thing that a lot of people like to spout off. And even especially lately with like political tensions and things like that being the way they are, a lot of people are hesitant to say that's wrong, or you can't say it. It's gotten bad. I mean, I know you're in the UK, but here in the States, that's a problem. And yeah, because there are some things that I think are unacceptable, but technically they're within their rights to say what they say. And I just have to accept that, even though what they're saying is hurtful and deceitful and just all around awful. But, you know, I don't know. I guess that's free speech. But I don't know. I don't know all the rules of all this. I don't know I need to look into what fair use, I'm going to look into fair use. I think that I can do this in a way that I'm not going to violate anything like that. Because all of the stuff that I want to stream is mostly from smaller channels. And it's original content, because I'm on Reddit quite a bit. So I know a lot of people on Reddit who are very good at doing videos. They don't have a huge following because they're not on YouTube all the time. They put it out so people on Reddit can see it. So yeah, different countries. I get that. Yeah. But the thing is that how do you tell, like, where does it's hard because I don't know where people are from all the time. YouTube should know. But I feel like a lot of people don't have to take accountability. And at the very most that YouTube does, they'll demonetize permanently. But look, everybody keeps popping back up. So, like, how are we enforcing that? Like, if somebody's been terminated, they've been terminated for a reason. and it's been decided that they've done, they can't, but they're just going to pop up on another email. It's that easy. And that may, and they just continue doing what they're doing. Now I've heard there's something of an IP ban, but I've never heard of that happening. So, oh yes, Allison, that is not something that I am down with. We don't do that in this chat. I don't stand for that as a person. I will not do that. We don't do that here. And that doesn't mean that sometimes things come out of my mouth that but it's always a learn. Not blatantly. I have said some things that I've had to be like, I didn't realize were offensive before, but I try to be really aware of that because it doesn't come from a place of like that. And I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm just talking about like it's stuff in bad taste, and it's mostly involved with not racism, not homophobia, not anything like that, but more so my views on, well, I don't really know quite the word for it, but I would hope they could, Dave, but I mean, I don't know if that ever happening that I know of, but I'm not familiar with a lot of stuff on YouTube, so I don't know. I just don't feel like they enforce things. Clearly, they don't. And I don't know. I don't get it. I do think that social media should be more monitored and stricter because look at the stuff that they allow on, a lot of it's harmful. Some of it is downright dangerous. But I guess it's a complicated matter. At the same time, should people be able, I don't know. It's a hot topic, that's for sure. And I'm not really technologically savvy, so I don't know what can be done. I'm not familiar with the different things that they can do. All I know is that I've seen several creators get terminated and they're still here under a different name, under a different channel. And some people, I know a couple creators that have had 2 channels terminated, and somehow YouTube has not picked up on the fact that it's the same person, even though they've been monetized and get AdSense. It makes no sense. So there's no way that but a lot of it is automated. A lot of it is bots that look, and it is very hard to get a hold of a human being. I will tell you that. When I was fighting for my Instagram account back because I felt that I was taken down for reasons that were not fair. Unfortunately, I would have had to get a lawyer. I would have had to get a lawyer to get a hold of a human being. And I tried. I thought about it. But I was like, is it really worth it for an Instagram? Like, it's kind of nice not having it, actually. I mean, obviously, I'm not making money anymore off of it. And it sucks because I built a community, which is really what I cared about and what I'm trying to do here. I just happened to get on Instagram when the algorithm was really easy to get into. I got in at the right time. I don't think I'd ever be able to do it again. And clearly but YouTube's hard. I haven't quite cracked YouTube yet, but I'm working on it. Because I think half my problem is I don't reach new people. And unfortunately, networking can only take you so far in a community this small. So I need to figure out the whole hashtag. I need to figure out how to get into people's recommended. And I think how I do that is by putting out actual content and not just lives. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on some short documentaries that I hope will get me some more true crime people that aren't part of this community that enjoy true crime. On like the other little sectors of YouTube. And I think a good way to do that is by putting out actual media. So, Dave, that's an interesting question. Clearly I got taken down. So yes, there's behind the scenes stuff, but I was behind a brand. So I was behind a logo. Nobody knew it was me. I never doxed myself. I had a staff that worked for me because I actually still have pages. Not on YouTube because the person I hired for YouTube was the problem and he took that down real fast. But I do still have like a Facebook, and my Facebook's still growing. I have several thousand on my Facebook. I don't even know how because I don't use it. And my Twitter, and I think I still have a Discord, but I don't even know how to use Discord. So that was run by somebody else as well. And a couple other things, but no. And you get people that are jealous for sure on Instagram. I got a lot of jealousy. I got a lot of people that were would make rude comments, but I had like an international thing going. I had people working for me in several countries. I had it in 2 different languages, 2 languages, 3 languages. I had it in Spanish, Russian, and German, and English. Like variations, because I was building a community and I was determined. But no, how I got taken down was I had hired somebody who I actually met in real life a few times, to help me out, and he got really lazy with it. But the thing was, is he started using my account, the DMs, to talk to women, some of which I am 99.9% sure were underage, and he was 21 at the time. Which I asked him to stop. I said, please stop doing that. It's not appropriate. He continued to do it. And then, I turned down an advance from him the last time I saw him, and he lost it. So I used to do fan weeks where I would feature other people's art. I would feature other people's, fan stuff. And everybody likes to be credited. So I would always credit them. And I had done maybe 6 or 7 of them prior, and I never had an issue because, of course, I would direct to people's Etsy. I was helping people. I was using my platform with 129,000 people to showcase them. And what happened was I had posted some concert footage that I had permission to use. I should have. It's my own fault for not having like a paper that somebody had to sign. Like, silly me for not thinking that. But he convinced that person to copyright strike me. And on Instagram, if you get mass reported, they don't ask questions. They take that very seriously. And I got taken down immediately, no warning, nothing, for a copyright infringement. And even the band that because I was a fan page that got noticed and then hired by the band, but they tried to get it back for me too, and they couldn't get it back. Because it was copyright and something else, but it was all bullshit, and it was mass reporting. I can't even tell you how many times I think some of it had to do with the fact that the band itself is risque. They do a lot of stuff that is kind of controversial. So there was something. It was that, but there was also a bunch of mass reporting on some things that were like nudity and stuff like that. So I think that also contributed to them taking me down. And the band even tried to get it back for me because I was doing work for them and they couldn't even get it. And I'm sure they do have real people that can get to real people. And then I was just like, I gave up. I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal. So then I worked with their marketing team in the US, and that was the end of that. So, and then when the pandemic hit and touring stopped, things dried up. So they have a new album coming out very soon. They just put out a new single, and yes. But oh no, I'm getting off of here, Allison. So no worries, because I'm starting to get a headache from the glare. I haven't eaten yet today, which I should eat. I'm gonna have some cereal. I think I have Lucky Charms, and sometimes having like kids cereal is like comforting to me. So I'm gonna go have a bowl of Lucky Charms. I'm gonna catch up on something. I don't know yet, but yes, please email me, and I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. And most people are probably going to watch this on the replay, so if you are watching on the replay, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to me, I have some good things coming. So yes, I will keep everybody updated. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to do an open panel tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I definitely, I'm going to do it tomorrow when I'm more like mentally there. And not as tired. So if anybody wants to come up tomorrow, I will be on. I might try to come on earlier, but it'll either be between 7 and 9, and I'll try to be on time. And I would love to have people come up. I will drop the link, and in hopes that nobody, abuses that, but I don't think they will. I'm not that important. But I'm going to get off of here now. So I hope everybody has a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.